silence can be louder than words. This idea may seem counterintuitive, especially in our modern world where the loudest voices often dominate our attention. Yet, what if I told you that some of the most influential figures in history mastered the art of influence without uttering a single word? This is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that does not just survive, but thrives in our chaotic modern era, because it teaches us the power of inner tranquility and the profound impact of our non-verbal actions. In today's discussion, we're going to explore how Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in the wisdom of ancient thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, can dramatically transform not just how you see yourself, but how the world sees you, without you having to say anything at all. Whether you're looking to enhance your personal relationships, elevate your professional demeanor, or simply find a deeper sense of peace in your daily life, the Stoic principles we'll uncover today offer practical, actionable strategies that promise profound results. So if you've ever felt overlooked despite your best efforts, or if you're seeking a more authentic way to project your values and virtues, stay tuned. This journey into the silent yet powerful world of Stoicism might just change the way you navigate your world. So as always, if you appreciate what we're doing here, simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Let's go. 1. Present yourself with dignity. Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes control over one's reactions and maintaining personal integrity, teaches us that dignity is not about pomp or pretense. It's about genuine self-respect and the respect we invoke in others through our actions. When we talk about presenting ourselves with dignity, Stoicism nudges us towards a demeanor that radiates calm confidence and self-assurance, without the need for loud declarations of our own worth. It's in the way you carry yourself in everyday interactions, from holding your head high when you walk into a room to listening intently when others speak. It's about that firm handshake and the sincere eye contact that says you're present and accountable, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. But Stoic dignity goes beyond just physical appearance and social manners. It's deeply rooted in virtue. Virtue, in Stoic terms, is about aligning your actions with your moral values. It means being just, courageous, disciplined, and wise in both private and public life. When you choose to act with integrity, even in challenging situations where it might be easier to compromise your values, you are practicing Stoic dignity. This could be as simple as being honest when a mistake has been made, or as complex as standing up for someone else's rights when it's unpopular or risky to do so. Incorporating this into your daily life means making decisions that reflect who you truly are and who you strive to be. It's about being consistent in your values, regardless of the circumstances you face. This consistency sends a powerful message to those around you about what you stand for, and it builds a foundation of trust and respect with peers, friends, and even adversaries. To live with dignity, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our control, our actions, our responses, our values, and let go of the noise that surrounds us. This isn't about adopting a facade of toughness or a mask of indifference. Rather, it's about cultivating a genuine self-sufficiency that allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. Presenting yourself with dignity is about knowing your worth, valuing yourself enough to live according to your principles, and respecting others enough to afford them the same courtesy. It's about the quiet confidence that comes not from external validation, but from a steadfast commitment to your own ethical principles. This is the essence of Stoic dignity, silent yet powerful, modest yet profound. 2. Know your worth. Stoics believe that understanding your intrinsic value isn't about tallying successes or stacking up accolades. It's about recognizing the inherent worth you hold, independent of external validations. This concept is crucial, not just for building self-esteem, but for fostering genuine self-respect and living a life aligned with your deepest values. Now, when we talk about knowing your worth, Stoicism pushes us to look inward. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, often discuss the idea of focusing on what's within your control. Your thoughts, your actions, your responses. These are where your true worth is demonstrated. It's not about how much you are praised or criticized, but how you maintain your integrity, manage your responsibilities, and contribute to your community in ways that resonate with your core principles. But how do you practically know your worth in everyday life? It starts with self-reflection. Spend time with yourself, get to know your strengths and also your limitations, because Stoicism doesn't teach perfection, it teaches improvement. Reflect on how you handle adversity. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you rise to the occasion, learning and growing from each challenge? Your reactions in these moments speak volumes about your character and your worth. Another Stoic practice is to engage with others in a way that reflects your self-respect. Stoics believe in the concept of sympathia, the mutual interdependence of all things in the universe. This means treating others with dignity and respect, which in turn strengthens your own sense of self-worth. When you treat people as you wish to be treated, you affirm your own values and demonstrate your worth through your actions. Additionally, Stoics focus on living virtuously as a reflection of their worth. Virtue, living according to wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, is seen as the highest good in Stoicism. So, knowing your worth also involves striving for these virtues in all aspects of life, from your personal relationships to your professional endeavors. When you live virtuously, you build a sense of self that is not easily shaken by the ups and downs of life's external circumstances. Understanding and embracing your worth in this way frees you from the need for external approval. You no longer chase after recognition or fear criticism because you know your value does not depend on them. This liberates you to pursue a life that truly reflects your inner self, a life where you can stand firm in the face of adversity, confident in your worth and secure in your path. Knowing your worth, according to Stoic philosophy, is about aligning your self-perception with your highest ideals and living in a way that consistently reflects those ideals. It's a journey that requires honesty, bravery, and ongoing self-assessment, but it's also incredibly rewarding. As you grow more attuned to your intrinsic value, you'll find that your interactions and relationships become more meaningful and your life becomes more fulfilling. 3. Acting with boundaries. This is a profound Stoic practice that transcends merely saying no to others. It involves a deep understanding of your personal limits and respecting those limits as a form of self-respect and respect for others. Stoicism, with its focus on self-mastery, autonomy, and inner freedom, teaches that setting and enforcing boundaries is not just a protective measure, but a way to live truthfully according to your values. In Stoicism, the emphasis is often on our internal boundaries, how we set limits for our own behavior and thoughts to remain aligned with our virtues. For example, Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about keeping one's mind focused on what is essential, avoiding unnecessary distractions and emotional overreactions. He believed in controlling his responses to external events, a boundary of the mind that ensures that one remains composed and principled, regardless of external circumstances. But how does this translate into our interactions with others? It starts with recognizing that our energy and time are finite resources that need to be managed wisely. Just as a Stoic might guard their thoughts from negativity and despair, we too must guard our time and energy from draining interactions and relationships. This means learning to say no to requests that conflict with our core duties and values, and not feeling guilty for prioritizing our well-being. Boundaries can also mean protecting your emotional space. Stoics like Seneca emphasize the importance of keeping company that is conducive to growth and well-being, suggesting we distance ourselves from those who might lead us into vice or distress. In contemporary terms, this could mean stepping back from relationships that are toxic or overly demanding, choosing instead to spend time with those who uplift and support us. Setting boundaries also involves clear communication. It's about expressing your needs and limits clearly and respectfully, without aggression or passivity. This kind of direct communication is deeply Stoic, because it's about being truthful and straightforward, avoiding manipulation or passive-aggressive behaviors, which can cloud our relationships and our own moral clarity. Moreover, acting with boundaries teaches us a lot about respect, both giving and receiving it. When you consistently enforce your boundaries, you teach others how you expect to be treated, which in turn fosters relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. This aspect of Stoicism is not about building walls, but about knowing where your gates are, how they open, and who you allow in. Setting and maintaining boundaries is about making conscious choices that align with your highest self. It's an ongoing process that requires reflection, adjustment, and sometimes the courage to make uncomfortable decisions. But the peace and freedom that come from living a life aligned with Stoic principles, where you respect yourself and are respected by others, are well worth the effort. This approach not only strengthens your personal integrity, but also deepens your relationships, allowing them to thrive on a foundation of mutual respect and genuine interaction. 4. Limiting access. In the realm of Stoicism, limiting access isn't about exclusivity or elitism, it's about valuing your own time and mental space. This Stoic practice teaches us the importance of being selective with our engagements and interactions, ensuring that our energy is spent on activities and relationships that are truly beneficial and align with our values. It's about quality, not quantity, in our connections and commitments. The concept of limiting access starts with self-awareness. Stoics like Epictetus emphasize understanding what is within our control and focusing our efforts there. This means taking a hard look at our lives and honestly assessing what deserves our time and attention. Are you spending time on activities that nurture your soul and help you grow? Are the people in your life encouraging you to live virtuously? Stoicism doesn't encourage us to cut off from the world, but to cultivate our garden carefully, watering the plants that bear the best fruit. In practical terms, limiting access can mean setting strict boundaries around your time. It might look like choosing not to check emails or social media at certain hours to protect your peace in the mornings and evenings. Or it might involve saying no to social obligations that drain your energy rather than enrich it. By doing so, you make each yes you give more meaningful, and you ensure that your resources aren't diluted by things that don't serve you. This principle also extends to emotional and intellectual boundaries. Stoicism teaches us not to let external events disturb our inner tranquility. Limiting access to our emotional world is a way to maintain this peace. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather choosing not to engage in dramas or conflicts that disturb your peace. It's about not allowing every external circumstance to impact your mood and mindset. Moreover, by limiting access, you cultivate a sense of respect and value for your own time and presence. people begin to recognize that your time is valuable and that your availability is a privilege, not a given. This shift doesn't just change how others view you, it changes how you view yourself. It reinforces the Stoic belief in self-respect and living a life of purpose. Limiting access is ultimately about making conscious choices, choosing to spend your time and energy in ways that are aligned with your values, and fostering relationships that are truly supportive and enriching. This selective approach allows for deeper, more meaningful interactions, as opposed to a scattergun strategy of broad but shallow connections. It's about cultivating depth, not breadth, in your life, a key tenet of Stoic philosophy that resonates through the ages. 5. Prepare to walk away. The ability to walk away revolves around the Stoic belief in self-sufficiency. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus stressed the importance of being content with oneself and one's moral choices. The idea is that you should never feel so tied to a situation, a job, or even a relationship that the fear of losing it paralyzes you or compromises your values. Having the courage to walk away is about recognizing when a particular aspect of your life no longer serves your higher purpose or aligns with your fundamental values. Walking away is not a reactive impulse, but a calculated decision that comes from a clear understanding of what is and isn't good for you. It's about setting a high standard for your personal and professional life. For example, in relationships, this might mean having the strength to end a partnership that is harmful or no longer contributes to mutual growth. In careers, it might involve leaving a job that stifles your potential or forces you to compromise your integrity. Moreover, preparing to walk away is also an exercise in respect. Respect for oneself and the intrinsic worth of one's life and choices. It reinforces the idea that you are the ultimate authority over your life and that you have the power to choose environments and relationships that foster growth, happiness, and virtue. It's about not settling for less than you deserve and not clinging to situations out of fear or comfort. Stoicism helps frame this readiness to walk away, not as a loss, but as a strategic gain, a step towards greater freedom and authenticity. When you are prepared to leave situations that do not benefit you, you open doors to opportunities that better resonate with your authentic self. This preparedness to let go also teaches resilience, as it underscores the transient nature of external circumstances and the enduring strength of a well-cultivated inner life. In embracing this philosophy, you assert a quiet confidence and a robust inner stability, knowing that no external change can fundamentally disturb your peace of mind. This is not about being unattached to the world, but about being so firmly attached to your own principles and sense of self that you can face changes and challenges with composure and dignity. This approach not only leads to a more fulfilling life, but also attracts respect and admiration from others, who see in you a person who is not easily swayed by the tides of fortune or fear. 6. The power of saying no. In the Stoic view, saying no is not just a refusal, but a proclamation of independence from desires and influences that do not align with one's core values and virtues. It's about asserting control over one's own life and decisions, which is a fundamental concept in Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to be selective about our commitments and engagements to ensure they are in harmony with our principles. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of acting in accordance with one's nature and rational self, which sometimes requires declining requests or opportunities that do not contribute to our moral and personal growth. The ability to say no reflects a commitment to integrity and the courage to stand by your convictions even when it might be challenging or unpopular. This practice of saying no can manifest in various aspects of life, from simple daily choices to significant life decisions. It involves declining invitations that would lead us astray from our goals, refusing to engage in behaviors that compromise our character, or even stepping away from relationships and environments that are harmful. The act of saying no is essentially an act of self-respect and self-preservation, allowing us to devote our resources, time, energy, and attention to pursuits that are truly meaningful and enriching. Moreover, the power of no extends beyond personal benefit. It also sets a precedent for how others interact with you. By firmly upholding your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you and what you are willing to accept in your relationships and endeavors. This not only fosters relationships of mutual respect and understanding, but also empowers others to consider their own boundaries and the importance of respecting them. In Stoic practice, the power of no is also a reflection of the dichotomy of control, a central tenet that distinguishes between what we can control, our actions, reactions, and decisions, and what we cannot, others' actions, thoughts, and behaviors. By focusing on our own choices and refusing to be swayed by external factors, we maintain our tranquility and freedom from distress. Embracing the power of no is empowering. It's an affirmation of your autonomy and an essential step toward living a life true to yourself. It is not about being negative or uncooperative, but about being intentional and selective, ensuring that every yes you give is thoughtful, meaningful, and in alignment with your true self. This is the essence of living stoically. Not merely surviving the storms of life, but navigating through them with deliberate and considered choices. 7. Healthy skepticism is vital. This isn't about doubting everything to the point of cynicism. Rather, it's about applying a thoughtful, discerning approach to the world around you, which Stoics believe leads to a deeper understanding and appreciation of life's complexities. Stoicism, as practiced by philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus, teaches that our first impressions or reactions to events are not always the most accurate or helpful. Instead, they advocate for a pause, a moment to reflect and question before forming a judgment or taking action. This practice is rooted in the belief that our rational minds are capable of discerning truth from falsehood, and that by exercising this capability, we can lead more fulfilling and less reactive lives. Incorporating healthy skepticism into your daily life means not automatically accepting every piece of information you come across. It involves evaluating the source, considering the context, and weighing the evidence before forming an opinion. This is particularly relevant in an age dominated by instant information and frequent misinformation. By applying a Stoic lens, you're not just passively consuming information, but actively engaging with it, ensuring that what you accept as true aligns with your values and understanding of the world. Moreover, healthy skepticism is crucial in personal relationships. It encourages you not to take things at face value, but to look deeper into the intentions and actions of others. This doesn't mean you distrust everyone. Rather, you give yourself the opportunity to understand their actions and words more fully before reacting. For example, if someone criticizes you, instead of immediately reacting defensively, consider their perspective. Could there be validity to their criticism? Is there something to be learned? This approach doesn't just protect you from potential misunderstandings, but also helps you grow as a person, cultivating traits like empathy and fairness. Stoicism also sees healthy skepticism as a way to avoid disappointment by tempering expectations. By not immediately assuming the best or worst about a situation, you maintain a balanced outlook that is less likely to be upended by life's inevitable ups and downs. This equanimity, a hallmark of Stoic thought, isn't about diminishing joy or ignoring pain, but about achieving a steady state of mind that remains undisturbed by external fluctuations. Healthy skepticism, according to Stoic philosophy, isn't a tool for disengagement from the world, but a method for deeper participation in it. It enables you to navigate life more thoughtfully, making decisions that are not only reactive to the surface level of experiences, but are deeply rooted in a clear, rational understanding of the world. By cultivating this skeptical mindset, you empower yourself to lead a life not led by mere reactions, but by deliberate, considered actions. 8. Don't chase people or their approval. In Stoic thought, the act of chasing often reflects a misplaced desire for external validation or a fear of missing out, both of which are contrary to Stoic values. Stoics like Epictetus advised that peace comes from focusing on our own actions and maintaining our virtue regardless of external circumstances. By refraining from chasing after things that are beyond our control, we protect our inner peace and maintain our dignity. Applying this to everyday life, don't chase can mean not obsessing over whether we are liked or accepted by others, not bending over backwards to accommodate unreasonable demands from others, or not pursuing goals that do not genuinely align with our deepest values. It means being okay with the possibility that things may not work out the way we hope, and trusting that by focusing on our own actions and reactions, we are staying true to what really matters. This Stoic practice also teaches us about detachment, not in the sense of isolation or indifference, but in cultivating a healthy distance from outcomes. It encourages us to engage fully with life while not becoming overly attached to any specific outcome, thereby freeing us from the emotional turbulence that often accompanies our plans and expectations. For example, in relationships, this might mean giving your best to a partnership without clinging tightly to the idea of how the relationship should progress. In careers, it could mean working diligently and passionately without becoming so attached to a particular recognition or promotion that your happiness depends on it. The Stoic teaching to not chase is about valuing what we contribute more than what we receive. It's about making peace with the process rather than being fixated on the result. This approach does not diminish ambition or the pursuit of excellence, but it does redefine success in terms of personal integrity and the peace that comes from knowing you have lived true to yourself. This mindset leads to a life where we are driven not by a need for external validation, but by the fulfillment that comes from knowing we are acting in accordance with our values and virtues. 9. Unconditional love. In Stoicism, unconditional love is deeply connected to the practice of acceptance and understanding that everyone, including ourselves, is part of the natural order of things, each with our own flaws and strengths. It encourages us to view others with empathy and compassion, recognizing that, like us, they are also striving to navigate the complexities of life. This kind of love requires us to cultivate patience, tolerance, and a non-retaliatory attitude, even when faced with anger or hatred. Applying unconditional love in everyday interactions means maintaining a calm and loving demeanor, even when others are not reciprocating in the way we might hope. It involves committing to act with kindness and respect towards others, regardless of their behavior or circumstances, which can often challenge our own emotional responses. This doesn't imply tolerating abuse or neglect. Rather, it means responding to negativity from a place of understanding rather than reaction. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us that our ability to love unconditionally can serve as a form of personal strength. By detaching our well-being from the actions and responses of others, we gain a greater sense of control over our emotional life. This detachment isn't about indifference, It's about equipping ourselves to face life's challenges with a steady heart and mind, not swayed by the shifting tides of external conditions. Unconditional love also extends to ourselves. Stoics believe in the importance of self-acceptance, embracing our own complexities and contradictions with compassion and understanding. This self-directed love is crucial because it sets the tone for how we interact with others. When we can accept and love ourselves unconditionally, we are better positioned to offer the same level of acceptance and love to others. Unconditional love in Stoicism is not merely an emotional state, but a disciplined virtue that involves thoughtful consideration, wise action, and a profound commitment to the common good. It's about fostering relationships that are based not on personal gain, but on genuine care and respect for the welfare of others. This approach to love not only enriches our personal relationships, but also aligns us with the Stoic goal of living a harmonious and meaningful life. 10. Don't completely center your life around another person. Stoicism, with its focus on personal virtue and inner tranquility, encourages us to cultivate a life where our happiness and peace are not overly dependent on the actions, feelings, or approval of others. In practical terms, this means nurturing a life that is rich with personal goals, interests, and pursuits outside of our relationships. While Stoics value social connections and the roles we play as friends, family members, or partners, they strongly advocate for the maintenance of personal autonomy and individual paths to virtue. This approach helps prevent the common pitfall where one's identity and emotional well-being become overly entangled with another person, which can lead to disappointment and emotional distress if relationships change or challenges arise. For instance, if you derive all your self-worth and purpose from a romantic relationship or a particularly close friendship, you might find yourself unmoored if that relationship ever becomes strained or ends. Stoicism teaches us to have a diversified portfolio of meaning and fulfillment. This might include developing a career that resonates with your values, engaging in hobbies that challenge you, cultivating a personal philosophy, or participating in community service that enhances your sense of contribution to the greater good. This Stoic principle also involves establishing and maintaining boundaries that protect your time and emotional energy. It encourages you to say no to demands that compromise your ability to care for your own needs and growth. It's about respecting your own space and time as much as you respect others. This isn't selfishness. It's a form of deep self-respect that acknowledges the need for personal growth alongside the growth of your relationships. Moreover, by not centering your entire life around another person, you foster healthier dynamics within your relationships. Each party brings their own strengths, interests, and perspectives to the table, enriching the relationship rather than making it a crutch for personal insecurities or unmet needs. This balance between togetherness and individuality is crucial for any long-lasting, mutually supportive relationship. The Stoic wisdom of not allowing your life to revolve solely around another person teaches us about resilience. It prepares us to face life's inevitable changes and challenges with a strong sense of self and a robust personal foundation. This readiness not only enhances our own lives, but also makes us better, more present, and emotionally stable partners, friends, and family members. 11. Virtue. The Stoic commitment to virtue is not just about moral righteousness, but about living a life that is deeply fulfilling and resilient in the face of life's fluctuating circumstances. Virtue, in Stoic philosophy, is the very essence of a good life. It isn't a set of strict rules, but a guiding principle that informs how we navigate our choices and interactions every day. To the Stoics, virtue comprises 4 cardinal components: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom involves the pursuit of knowledge, especially self-knowledge, and the understanding of how best to act. Courage is not just about bravery in the face of physical danger, but also the moral courage to do what is right, even when it is difficult. Justice involves treating others fairly and acting as a member of a community, respecting the rights and feelings of others. Temperance, or self-control, is about moderating our desires and impulses to live in harmony with our true needs and goals. Integrating virtue into your life means making decisions that consistently reflect these principles. It's about choosing not just what's expedient, but what's right. For instance, when faced with a difficult decision at work or in your personal life, a Stoic would advise you to choose the path that best aligns with these virtues. This could mean standing up for a colleague who is being treated unfairly, showing restraint in the face of provocation, or taking the time to help a friend in need, even when it's inconvenient. Living virtuously also means seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. Stoicism teaches that difficulties are not obstacles to our happiness, but chances to demonstrate our commitment to our principles. When we face hardships with virtue, we not only overcome them, but also deepen our character and resilience. This perspective transforms the way we experience life's ups and downs, turning every moment into a chance to affirm our values. Moreover, virtue in Stoicism is closely linked to inner peace. By aligning our actions with our deepest values, we reduce internal conflict. There's a profound tranquility that comes from knowing that your actions are consistent with your beliefs. This congruence reduces anxiety and boosts self-esteem, fostering a stable and contented mind. The pursuit of virtue is a dynamic and lifelong process. It's not about achieving perfection, but about striving towards being the best version of ourselves. It enriches our lives, enhances our relationships, and provides a reliable compass in a world that is often complex and unpredictable. Stoicism invites us to see virtue not as a duty, but as a path to personal freedom and fulfillment, a journey that is as rewarding as it is challenging. Remember, the path to virtue and inner peace is not about grand gestures, but the quiet strength of everyday choices. Embrace the principles we've discussed and let them guide you to a life of purpose and tranquility. Since you've made it to the end, share with us your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. See you soon.